schools don't teach children how to socialize, how to behave, or even how to have basic manners. It does completely the opposite to that. If anything, schools encourage children and teach them how to behave alike, how to pick up bad habits from each other because they think it's cool, right? That's what the school does. And when you observe children after they had come out of school, you'll understand exactly what I mean. And bless them, it's not their fault. At the end of the day, if you force a child to sit down on a chair and desk for 6 hours a day, after they come out of that prison, after they come out of that system that is forcing their body to sit down when their body clearly wants to move and it wants to be out and it wants to do things, they're obviously going to get up to naughty things after school, which is why children come out of school and they go smashing things, they go breaking things, they go around causing a nuisance. The park where I live, I've been living here for 3 years now, and there's like a woodlands, and there used to be a lovely park. In the last 3 years I've been living here, the children had burnt down this park 3 times. They've set it on fire, that the council have now decided that they're not going to rebuild it because it keeps on happening. And what is that telling you? This tells us that those children, bless them, have so much preserved energy. They have so much built up energy inside of them from all that sitting down all day and the controlling that they go through, that they want to get it out, but they don't know how to get that energy out, and they don't know what to get it out on. And what, in their opinion, in their eyes, what they deem to be so fun, right, is starting fires, is collecting wood and starting fires and setting things on fire. They end up releasing that energy, but in very harmful and unhealthy ways that really affect that child's mental in the long run. And that is simply because we're not designed for this life that we live today. And when you really think about it, this is exactly how our ancestors lived back in the day, whether if it was men, women, or children. They would all be cutting wood all day long because it's a natural way of releasing that energy. And it's a fun way of releasing it as well. You're just cutting wood all day, and it really gets your mind thinking. It really gets your mind working. It really gets your mind wandering while you're doing it. Cutting, chopping wood all day, and then the art of starting a fire as well. The art of starting a fire yourself, and then the satisfaction that you get from actually starting it and sitting around it to get nice and cozy. The way schools are designed, it does not help that child release their natural energy. In fact, it builds it up even more. And every time I come here, I notice how as soon as school finishes, there would be kids around everywhere. And what I notice them doing all the time is that they go looking for the biggest log they could possibly carry around, the heaviest one. And then they go and start hitting it against anything they could find, whether if it's a tree, a rock, and they keep repeating that movement over and over again. And I sit there watching them, observing them, how they would keep repeating that movement over and over again until they're completely worn out. Why do they do that? That's because they have so much built up energy inside of them that they need to release. And when they don't release that energy, this is why they get up to naughty things and they start going crazy. Because schools are not designed to release that child's natural energy. It preserves it, right? Which is why kids end up with mental health conditions and end up in trouble and end up eating a lot of junk food. These are simple things that unfortunately children these days wouldn't even get the pleasure to experience. They would never experience the dopamine and the endorphin hit and release that they get from doing stuff like this, that we are born as human beings to do and experience. But we've neglected it. Why? Because we think we've evolved. Because we have electricity and heating, when in reality we've devolved as a nation. And the perfect example to that, the perfect proof to that, is that look at the mental health records and how they're increasing over the years. I literally went to the GP yesterday for the first time in 5 years, and the queue was all the way up to the back of the street. That's how long it was. All the way to the entrance and all the way to the back of the street. And when I looked at that, I thought about how when I was a little kid and I used to go to the GP with my mum as a little child, yeah, you'd literally go and sit and there's like two people waiting and they call your name and that's it. But these days you have to wait hours to get seen or to speak to someone. And that just goes to show how, because everybody's sick these days, we're not evolving as a nation. We're devolving because everyone's sick, everyone's depressed, everyone's tired, everyone's just dealing with their mental health issues. And while the government are getting richer, getting wealthier and making more money, every citizen is sick, depressed and dying, because that is exactly how they make money and get rich.